How's it hanging, guys? Aaron from PhoneDog.com here, and this phone was supposed to come last week, but hey, it's here now. That's all that matters, right? Here it is, the LG Genesis with US Cellular. It's another Android-powered smartphone on US Cellular. It was available as of the 9th for $150 with a new 2-year agreement. Now, this thing reminds me a lot of the Envy Touch, but obviously it's running Android. Android 2.2 to be exact. 1 GHz processor as well, 3.5-inch display on the outside, 3.2-inch display on the inside. It actually folds up and has a QWERTY keyboard, or folds out rather, and has a QWERTY keyboard. Now, is this a device for you? If you're a US Cellular customer, should you go with something like the HTC Desire, the Samsung Galaxy S variant that US Cellular has, or maybe even something else? We'll find out that and more, at least try to find that out in the unboxing. But first, special thanks to our guys at Best Buy. They hooked us up with a bunch of smartphones that we're giving to you in the One Paw Bandit game. So when you walk into Best Buy Mobile, you walk out working. Whether it's email, web, whatever, they'll help you set it up on your phone. So when you walk out, you're good to go. But enough of that, let's get into it. LG Genesis, is this the phone to have on US Cellular? We'll find out. I'm really digging the LG Genesis, and I think it's because I was always a fan of the Envy line of phones. From the Envy 2 to the Envy 3 to the Envy Touch. I always liked the way they looked. I thought the design was relatively unique. So it's kind of cool and kind of weird at the same time to see Android on what in my mind is kind of a feature phone design with a smartphone operating system packed in. But here it is, LG Genesis, available now for $150 with a 2-year agreement at US Cellular, and it's a well-spec'd device. Given the, you look at the design, you think, okay, this is going to be a mid-range device or perhaps a low-end Android phone, but it's pretty well-spec'd. 1 GHz Snapdragon processor. It has 2 displays, 3.5-inch display, just to show you the box here while I'm talking. 3.5-inch display on the outside, 3.2-inch display on the inside, both of which are 480 by 800 pixels. So pretty decently sized displays on both ends. I love the way it looks. It feels good in the hand. Nice build quality, good materials there. And in terms of, continuing along on the specs, 1500 milliamp hour battery, 5 megapixel camera, and it's running Android 2.2 as well. So it's relatively, it's not running Gingerbread, so it's not all the way up to date, but it's relatively up to date in terms of the operating system. AC adapter module here. Got a pair of earbuds in the box. Looks like some basic earbuds there. And then, of course, your standard LG USB cable, which you're pretty familiar with. Now, in terms of instruction manuals, LG Genesis Quick Start Guide, Android Market, and then a massive owner's manual. I'm not sure that there's that much to learn about this phone, but apparently there is. LG's packaged massive instruction manual. Contacto corporal durante el funcionamiento. Este dispositivo fue probado para el uso típico con la parte posterior del teléfono a una distancia de 2 cm del cuerpo del usuario. I'm sorry. People said to do it in the YouTube video. The Spanish just comes out. I can't control it. But AC adapter module, USB cable, and earbuds in the box. So not bad for $150. But then again, you have the Desire on US Cellular right now. You have the Mesmerize on US Cellular, and a couple of other Android handsets as well, the Samsung Acclaim. So, the question is this the one to get, or should you go with that? I think it's personal preference. It all depends on the form factor you prefer the most. That said, I really like this form factor. It's really, really nice. I think it's cool. It fits well in the pocket, and I like the, it's kind of odd, like I said, because it has this feature phone look to it, but then all of a sudden Android pops up, and you're like, wait a second. So we'll power it on. You can see the 4 buttons down there. Physical buttons. You have menu, home, back, and search. And then we'll pull that off. Get all these stickers off there. All these little stickers on the side. There we go. Keeps it shiny. Okay, so obviously we're roaming. I'm not in US Cellular coverage area. But you get the idea. Here it is. 3.2-inch display on the inside. Nice big roomy QWERTY keyboard. But in terms of design, I mean, it is just like the Envy Touch and Envy 3. Like I said, 5 megapixel camera out here, but it's just cool to see Android. I mean, it's very functional and oddly functional, more so than I thought it would be on this form factor. So let's just pull the Droid X2 here, for example. I can take my picture. And that was really washed out, but that was because I had the flash turned on. And it is a touch screen as well on the inside, so you can use the touch screen portion. Delete. Whoops, delete. And then it runs LG's custom user interface. We've seen this on the LG Vortex on Verizon. It's kind of the, it's not the full-fledged version that you're used to on the Revolution and the Optimus 3D, but it is kind of an overlay as well with a different menu structure here. You can see a different bar down here at the bottom, a different applications drawer, and different shortcuts down here at the bottom. And then when you pull down the notifications bar, you can see these shortcuts up here. Sound, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, airplane mode, and GPS. So you get some nice shortcuts up there as well. Overall, not too intrusive. It's not bad at all. You can see the buttons are slightly different here in the phone application, but otherwise out of the box you get some US Cellular stuff, and they're pretty good about what they put on it. It's not a ton of bloatware. You can see, for example, applications here. That's an LG customization, the fact that that's written right there. But anyway, City ID on US Cellular side, help, My Contacts Backup, Tone Room Deluxe, Your Navigator, which is their telenav, their version of telenav GPS, and that's about it. So not a lot of bloatware on this, and then the rest you see these little customized icons, home selector, things like that. That's all LG customizations. But just to go into messaging, we'll take a quick look at that. And what I like, again, you can open it right up from here and be right in your messaging. So it's got this, and I can't harp on it enough. It's just odd to me to have this NV3 type feel. And in terms of just the functionality, it's like how you open it up and it's automatically in messaging. Very much an NV thing. But you're like, wait a second, this is running Android. So keyboard feels good. It's a 5-row QWERTY keyboard, dedicated number row at the very top. The quick brown fox is happy. Actually happy. Quick brown fox is happy. So you see, pretty easy to type on. You have some shortcut keys over here as well. You have menu, home, back, and search, and then your voice key. Then you have shortcuts to the web, text messaging, and then you have send and end over here with your D-pad. So it's a nice device. It'll be interesting to pit it up against some of US Cellular's other devices, their high-end devices, and Android devices at that, to see if it can really hold its own. Much more coverage to come on the LG Genesis on PhoneDog.com. Dogfights, reviews, first impressions, and more. So keep it on the site. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, PhoneDog_Aaron, and on Facebook at Facebook.com/PhoneDogAB. And of course, like us on PhoneDog or Facebook at Facebook.com/PhoneDog. We're always giving away stuff. We have a new contest on the way, so be sure to like us. Facebook.com/PhoneDog, and stay tuned for more coverage on this cool little device, the LG Genesis with US Cellular. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.